Hello everyone. In this video we will talk about the 6 muscles of the shoulder, 5 muscles of the arm and 19 muscles of the forearm. For a better arrangement, I divide the muscles of the forearm into 2 groups with 5 subdivisions each. We start with the origins of 5 of the 6 shoulder muscles. We have the fossa subscapularis, fossa supraspinata and infraspinata, margo lateralis middle 1/3 and distal 1/3. The insertions are the tuberculum minus, tuberculum majus for 3 of the muscles, and crista tuberculi minoris for the teres major. The musculus latissimus dorsi and pectoralis major are functionally muscles of the upper extremity too, since they insert into the crista tuberculi minoris and majoris respectively. The musculus deltoideus originates where the trapezius inserts. That is the clavicula, acromion and spina scapulae. The insertion is on tuberositas deltoidea. Now to the arm muscles. From the name of musculus coracobrachialis, we can derive its connections to the bones. Its origin is in processus coracoideus. Its insertion is, as the name suggests, somewhere on the arm, and to be exact, on the middle part of the humerus. The musculus brachialis, on the other hand, originates from the distal part of the humerus and inserts into the tuberositas ulnae. Now to the musculus biceps brachii. Here we have 4 muscle-bone connections. 2 of them we basically already know. One is the processus coracoideus, and the other one is the tuberositas, but this time the tuberositas from the radius. The second origin is the tuberculum supraglenoidale. The tendon runs through the joint capsule of the shoulder joint and through the sulcus intertubercularis. The second insertion is the aponeurosis bicepitalis, also known as lacterus fibrosus, which is a wide tendon which blends in with the fascia of the forearm. Next, we have the musculus triceps that originates from the tuberculum infraglenoidale, but also from the surface above and below the sulcus radialis. Its insertion is on the olecranon. Lastly, I draw the musculus anconeus. Now we will draw the forearm muscles, once ventrally and once dorsally. Both of these perspectives can be divided into 5 steps: the pronator/supinator muscle, the deep digital muscles, the superficial digital muscle, the carpal muscles, radially and ulnary, and the pronator/special muscle. For the first step, we have the musculus pronator quadratus. For the second step, we draw the origins of the deep digital muscles, musculus flexor pollicis longus and flexor digitorum profundus. The insertions can be derived from the names. We have the phalanx distalis of the thumb and the phalanx distalis of the other 4 fingers. The tendons of the latter converge over the curs. All muscles from now on have the origin on the epicondylus medialis. Some of the muscles also have additional origins, which are unfortunately also important to know because of their relevance to the course of the nerves. Now we continue with the third step, with musculus flexor digitorum superficialis. Its additional origins are processus coronoideus and the third distal quarter of facies anterior of the radius. It inserts into the phalanx medialis of the fingers. I will use tendons of the deep digital muscles instead of drawing new lines to connect the origins with the insertions, so that it won't get too messy around the hand area. Now to the fourth step with the carpal muscles. We start on the ulnar side. Here we have the additional origin on the olecranon and the insertions on the fifth metacarpal bone and two carpal bones. On the radial side, the insertion is only on the second metacarpal bone. Here I won't draw the connection line between origin and insertion for the sake of a better overview of the drawing. The last muscle of the fourth step is musculus palmaris longus. Its insertion is on the palmar aponeurosis, which I will draw as a thin bubble. In the fifth step, we draw the musculus pronator teres. Its additional origin is the processus coronoideus, and its insertion is here, parallel to the insertion of musculus flexor digitorum superficialis. Now to the first step of the dorsal view. For the musculus supinator, we draw lines on the fourth distal quarter of the ulna and radius. The supinator also additionally originates from the epicondylus lateralis. The second step is about the deep digital muscles. First, we draw 4 lines. Then, we mark the insertions of the 3 thumb muscles. They are the metacarpal bone, phalanx proximalis, and phalanx distalis of the thumb. Now we connect the origins and insertions of the abductor longus, extensor brevis, and extensor longus. Next, we have the musculus extensor indices, which has a common trait with the upcoming superficial digital muscles, because of its insertion into the dorsal aponeurosis of the second finger. Now to the third step and the said superficial digital muscles. From now on, all muscles originate from the epicondylus lateralis. We draw the dorsal aponeurosis of the finger 5 for the musculus extensor digiti minimi. I won't connect the origin with the insertion yet, because the course of the muscle overlaps with the next muscle, the musculus extensor digitorum. For that, we also draw the dorsal aponeurosis of the finger 3 and 4. Now, we draw the musculus extensor digitorum, which covers all previously mentioned muscles and which inserts into the dorsal aponeurosis of the finger 2 to 5. The fourth step is about the carpal muscles. We draw the 3 insertion points on the metacarpal bone of the 5th, 3rd, and 2nd finger. We then connect the lines so that we have musculus extensor carpi ulnaris, radialis brevis, and radialis longus. The 5th step is about musculus brachioradialis. Its origin is this time on crista supracondularis lateralis, and it inserts into processus styloideus of the radius. Now a quick summary. The shoulder muscles are musculus subscapularis, the only muscle inserting into the tuberculominus, musculus supraspinator, infraspinator, teres minor, and teres major. Because of the insertion into the crista tuberculi minoris and majoris of the humerus, the latissimus dorsi and pectoralis major are functionally also considered muscles of the upper extremity. The last shoulder muscle is the musculus deltoideus. The 5 arm muscles are musculus coracobrachialis, brachialis, biceps brachii, as well as musculus triceps brachii and anconeus. Now to the forearm muscles, once from the ventral and once from the dorsal perspective. First, there is the pronator quadratus. Second, we have musculus flexor pollicis longus and flexor digitorum profundus. Third, there is the musculus flexor digitorum superficialis, which covers all named muscles. Fourth, there is musculus flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor carpi radialis, and palmaris longus. Fifth, there is the pronator teres. Now to the dorsal side. First, we have the musculus supinator. Second, we have the 3 muscles of the thumb and musculus extensor indicis. Third, we have the musculus extensor digiti minimi and extensor digitorum, which covers all the previous muscles. Fourth, there are the musculus extensor carpi ulnaris, radialis brevis, and radialis longus. And finally, we have the musculus brachioradialis. Alright guys, that's it for the muscles of the upper extremity. Thanks for watching and see you next time.